There's a saying in English, a bird in hand beats two in the bush. It basically means that when you are winning, when you are ahead, don't try to get more. If it's good enough right now, if you got the bird in hand, right? This is like a hunting metaphor. I do believe it comes from hunting, but if you got the bird in hand, you kill the bird. You're gonna eat the bird, okay? Don't worry about those two that are over there in the bush. It's pointless, okay? And more likely than not, if you concentrate on those birds and try to catch them, you might lose what you've got in hand. And that's the thing, that's the danger. This is particularly true in trading, okay? Trading stocks and bonds, okay? A lot of guys, they are ahead. They are winning. They bought a position at say 100 and it's risen to 120. That's a 20% profit. That's great. But they say that, no, I'm going to wait around. Maybe it goes up to 150. That's stupid. My old man back in 1980 got into gold in a big way, okay? Because that was when the Hunt brothers were trying to corner the market in silver and gold shot the moon, right? And he got into it. He'd been tipped off. And he got into it, and something like $120 per ounce, right? And I remember it. He brought home like this huge box. I mean, it was like this big box of like Krugerrands, right? I mean, it was just like a lot of Krugerrands. Anyway, the point is, see, it was like, holy cow, I'd never seen real gold like that before, and it caused an impression. And he had bought it like at $120 or something like that, and it rose up to 400, and my old man unloaded all of it. Like he wound up, the net price was like 435, if I recall correctly. And I remember that figure because of something. Because see, he unloaded all of it, and it kept on going up. And my old man, who is a fucking idiot in so many ways, I mean, just a real son of a bitch, an idiot and an asshole, but he had a smart saying. He said, I won enough. I don't have to worry anymore. And that was fucking smart. Because see, gold kept on going up. He unloaded everything at 435, and like the next day it was at 600. And after that, it hit 800. And then when it hit its peak, I'm talking, it really was like a week after he unloaded his full position, it just dropped like a rock. What happens is that you won big, you won huge, yeah? And you get greedy, and you hold on. You think that you can get more. Just wait a little bit longer and you'll get more. And what happens is that you lose it all. You lose what you had won. A bird in hand beats two in the bush. And what it is greed, by the way. It's as simple as that. Catholics, I'm a Catholic, and we talk about the 7 deadly sins, and greed is one of them. And absolutely true. Greed kills you, yeah? And you're greedy, and you won. You're ahead of the game. You've got the bird in hand. You've got your profits, right? You've made a lot, but you keep on saying, no, just a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. And in that desire for just a little bit more, that's when you fuck up. That's when you lose it all. Be smart. Be smart. Bird in hand beats two in the bush. You get into something, anything, whatsoever it may be, okay? It might be trading, it might be whatever. When you feel that you have won, that you're happy with what you've gotten, get out of it. Don't push your luck. If you've gotten what you wanted, move on. Leave it behind you. And smarter still, set yourself a goal. You can take this in trading, but you can apply it in life. If you buy something at 100, set yourself a goal that by the time it hits 115, you'll exit the position. The trading position in this hypothetical, but it could be anything. Anything in life. You get in at 100, it climbs up to 115, sell it. Or get out of it, or stop it, do enough of it, yeah? It doesn't matter if it keeps on rising up to 120, 125, you still got ahead 15, yeah? You got in at 100 and you sold it at 115, you're ahead. And if, it keeps on climbing up to 125, 130, 150, 200, don't say to yourself, oh, it's profit I could have lost, or profit I could have earned but lost. No, don't think of it like that. Think of it in the sense of like, wow, what risks are going on? What is going on that leads it to continue to climb? But don't begrudge the fact that you are ahead. It's understandable when you get out of something at say 115, it keeps on going up, it hits 200, and you're saying, oh, I should have stayed. It's understandable. But think of yourself at the time that you got out. Was it a smart move to get out? Did it seem logical, reasonable? If at the time, with the information you knew at that time, it was reasonable, then fine. I've told you guys about Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin, yeah, I had the opportunity to get into Bitcoin way back in 2011 at peanuts, at real chump change, okay? I mean, I think it was like something like $5 or $7 per Bitcoin, right? I had the chance to get into Bitcoin in a big way. I'd invest $10,000 and I would have had like 2,000 Bitcoin or something like that. I forget. It was like a block that was being sold to me, okay? And I said no. I said no because I thought to myself at the time, I thought that Bitcoin looked like tulips, looked like a bunch of bullshit. And I thought that it was absurd and that this bubble would pop. And I had good reasons. I thought to myself that Bitcoin is no different from all the other cryptocurrencies. It's only an issue of marketing, between the difference between Bitcoin, say, and any of the others. And that there was no reason to buy Bitcoin and there was no utility in it in the sense that it was not required for any purchase. At the time, back in 2011, it was perfectly rational for me to not get into Bitcoin. It kept on going. And am I surprised? Fucking A, I'm surprised. Would I do things differently? If I knew that it would rise up to $20,000, of course I would. Of course, I mean, come on, right? But the point is, and the reality is that, see, there is no way I could have known that back in 2011. And with the information I knew in 2011, it would have been insane for me to go into it. And so I don't regret it. You see? Bird in hand, two in the bush. Always think of it in those terms. And with the information you have at this time, what's the smart decision? Don't hope for better. Hope can kill you. Ultimately, this is what we're talking about, hope. Hope can kill you. Because, of course, when you're in a bad situation, you hope that things will improve. And they usually do, yeah? But a lot of times, when you're in a good situation, your hope leads you to expect an even better situation. Your greed makes you expect a better situation. And you don't recognize and be thankful for the things that you have. You have a good situation now, leave it alone. Be smart, be smart. Bird in hand beats two in the bush.